Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be doing my pull plans for the month of September now that everything is pretty much confirmed since the community livestream has happened. We pretty much know exactly what is going to be dropping and when they are going to be dropping, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about my plans for my global account and which characters I'm going to be pulling for, which ones I'm probably going to pass up on, or I'll just take the free upgrade since I already have their kit. Do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be, whether you're going to be passing up, pulling, skipping, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Do let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys enjoy it, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, comment below, etc, etc. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I've already talked about Ultimecia and Lunafreya in my previous Who Should You BT Plus video, but for those who may have missed it, I am going to be pulling for Lunafreya's entire kit. I have played 15 in the past. She is one of my favorites in 15, even though she only got a little bit of some screen time here and there, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, for those who have played 15, like, you know, we already know what happens to Lunafreya. Big sad. But regardless of all that, at least she is still around in Opera Omnia, so that's what counts, right? But no, I will be pulling for Ultimecia's, not Ultimecia's, Lunafreya's entire kit 100%. I did do so in JP. No regrets at all. She is definitely worth pulling for. If you are running on a tight budget, I will say that at the most you can probably go for is her LD weapon, because her LD is where she has the mechanics, where she is able to grant the buff, depending on what team, what position you have her on the team, will grant said character the additional turns or the fixed HP damage, you know, just depending on like what exactly you're trying to get out of Lunafreya. But at the most, the LD is definitely the minimum that you want to get for her, because that's where everything is at. But for me though, I'm pulling for everything because like Lunafreya is just a favorite of mine. When it comes to Ultimecia did get a very solid rework. She becomes very, very good now. Her BT plus, her BT effect gets extended as well, so she is able to delete more turns on the enemy. So overall, like, she gets a fantastic rework in my opinion. She's definitely worth the BT plus, especially if she is a favorite of yours. I don't think you're gonna regret BT plusing her. She, like, in my opinion, she is really, really good for what she does. I have seen some very little, but I have seen some JP runs with Ultimecia, and she definitely does some work. So I will be holding off on Ultimecia though, just because like I want to make sure that I save my BT resources for future BT units. With that being said, we also have the LD characters that are going to be released with Ultimecia and Lunafreya. Yang gets a very good rework. I would definitely not overlook Yang, because like Yang, like, he actually works very well with FRs that have that off-turn option. So like, or to be able to increase the HP damage bonus with an off-turn damage, like Yang is actually very, very good for that. And I feel like people may overlook him, but like with the rework that he gets, like, he is actually very solid for off-turn damage. So I definitely would not overlook him. I already have his kit, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm just gonna get the free upgrade. Lion's not that bad either for what she actually gets. Her follow-up got upgraded as well, and like, she definitely got the damage output for her kit, so she's not that bad either. I will Lion's another character that I personally would not overlook as well. But like, between the two, between Yang and Lion, I will for sure go for Yang if I was like a brand new player and I needed that off-turn damage. Cypher, of course, he has an AoE delay. He actually does some pretty good damage as well for being an LD only unit. So with him being able to get force level enhancements is going to be great for him. Bosch, he is a tank, and he is able to basically make it so that all AoE damage goes to him, and that's pretty much it. If he does fall below 50% of his HP, he actually recovers right back up to the 50% as well. So Bosch is a very solid tank overall. But like, when it comes to these two banners, I feel like all of the units in these two banners are very, very good units, especially for newer players. Next up is going to be Iroha. Iroha is going to be getting a rework and an FR weapon. Now, when it comes to her FR is not too bad. It's actually very, very simple, and especially with how her kit operates, like, it's like she pretty much just it's just granting everything. So she increases the HP damage bonus by 30% whenever the party member's HP is equal to or greater than 100% at the start of turn. Iroha is able to heal, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. Or if you can provide HP regen or anything, or just any type of like HP regen, so that way everybody can be healthy, then you can do that as well, so that way you can meet the condition. The other one is going to be whenever the party member's brave is greater than or equal to 20% of max brave at the end of turn. Iroha with a LD effect is able to do that, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So you can easily get like a 50% plus increase whenever you have her FR active. Her rework is not too bad either, but I feel like for me myself though, I am probably going to hold off on pulling for, or actually like going in on Iroha's FR weapon until she gets her BT later down the line, because the BT is very solid in my opinion, like very, very good. She offers that fixed HP damage, and it is based on the number of stacks that she has on her BT effect. So she can actually provide the fixed HP damage on the last HP attack, and as you can see here, it starts off at 20%, then it increases to 40, 60, 80, and then 100%. So like it's a very good BT effect. So that's why it, like, if I don't get it within like the 100 maybe 150 like tickets that I throw at her banner, at least I know that later down the line I can pull for her FR and her BT weapon as well. So but like as of right now, with the release of her IW though, like she's not bad. It's not a bad option either, especially if you want to help out your party mates with having some type of brave at the beginning of their turn. Then Iroha is not a bad option at all. The other two characters that are going to be popping up is going to be Seven. Seven is going to be getting a rework, her C90. I'm not really too concerned about Seven. She does get an FR later down the line, and I think the rework that she gets later down the line is much better than what she is getting now. The follow-up, if I'm not mistaken, does not get messed with her rework, so I mean, she's okay at best, but like in my opinion, she's not chase worthy. Rajan, on the other hand, though, that LD ability for any newer players or players who have missed out on this LD debuff in the past, excuse me, that LD is still very much one of the top tier call abilities to have, because that LD debuff makes it so that the enemies won't inflict you with any debuffs. They won't hit you for any HP damage, regardless of what amount of brave that they have. Like, it'll end up being at 0. So like overall though, like Rajan's LD ability is very, very good. If you missed out on it, I would highly recommend that you throw some tickets at it, because that call ability is very good and will come in handy in many, many Shinryu fights to come. So definitely consider doing that as consider doing that for Rajan's LD. Next up is going to be Sabin, who's going to be getting his FR weapon. Then we also have Kuja, who's going to be getting his rework, his C90, all that good stuff. So his BT is going to be reran. Sabin, well, actually, before we go into Sabin or Sabin, whichever one of the two that you pronounce it by, when it comes to Kuja, he gets a decent rework. Let's pull that up real quick so you guys can check it out and know exactly what you're going to be getting. So for the Act 3, his LD ability just gets an increase in the amount of brave that he recovers in between HP attacks. His skill 2, his ultimate ability, is now 4 HP dumps, excuse me. So not too bad. I mean, we'll definitely take the additional HP dumps, and he recovers 30% brave in between, or after the second HP attack, excuse me. And then for his skill 1, it does become 3 HP dumps with 50% splash with the regular version. The plus version actually deals more brave hits, and it is 80% splash HP damage. And this is after each HP attack for both versions. So overall, like, not too bad of a rework, in my opinion. Later down the line, he actually does get another rework, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, with his intersecting wills. And And if I remember correctly, I do believe that his BT effect gets messed around with a little bit. Yeah, so it now adds HP damage kappa by 20%. So Kuja's okay at best. I mean, you can easily like make Kuja work, or just in general, like you can make any characters work nowadays. But for me myself, if I did not have Kuja, I would probably hold off on chasing for Kuja. When it comes to Sabin, on the other hand, let me pull that up real quick. There is my thumbnail from my video from yesterday. So Sabin, with his rework, actually gets a pretty good rework in my opinion. So his skill 1 has 3 HP dumps on the regular version, 4 HP dumps on the plus version. His skill 2, 2 HP dumps on the regular version, 3 HP dumps on the plus version. His LD ability is 6 HP dumps in total, which is pretty cool as well. When it comes to his FR ability though, his conditions, 30% increase for both, or for one, 30% increase for wind ability. So whenever you deal wind brave damage, it increases by 30%, and then a 30% increase whenever you deal holy brave damage. Now, obviously, Sabin is able to meet both of those conditions with his kit. The thing is though, like when it comes to everybody else though, it's going to be a slight bit of an issue, and there are very few card abilities that is able to help in being able to enchant wind and holy at the same time. So like the first one that comes to mind when it comes to wind is going to be Fujin. Fujin is able to provide that. When it comes to holy, there are a good amount of call abilities that is able to provide that. The first one that actually pops up into mind is going to be Ash. Ash is able to thunder and holy enchant at the same time, and there are multiple characters as you can see here, and you can check this out via the Cydia Compendium. The other thing about his FR effect is that the party brave attacks now ignore defense, which is great. So that means it's going to be a higher brave damage that everybody on the team is going to be dealing. So overall, it's not a bad ability whatsoever. I do think that Sabin is a pretty solid character. I will be throwing at least like maybe 200 tickets at most to see if I can get his FR weapon. Again, like the biggest thing about him is definitely going to be that like you have to use multiple enchanters to be able to meet both FR conditions. Then you can get that 60 plus increase to the HP damage bonus. The one thing to note about that is that you want to make sure that whenever you use his FR conditions, that you want to make sure that you get and you use that time frame to deal the utmost damage that you can, because of course you won't be able to especially if you're going to be relying on calls, you won't be able to rely on those calls forever because they will expire. Now if you have like characters on the team that is able to enchant both elements, then that's gonna be a different story. But like overall though, it's not a bad FR in my opinion. He does get a good rework, and overall I honestly think that Sabin is a pretty solid character in my opinion. So for me myself, I will be throwing about like 200 tickets at most. Maybe I might go further than that. We'll see how everything is going so far with the polls beforehand, and you know, I guess we'll see if I manage to get his FR. If not, it's all good. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe his FR has been reran just yet. So this is probably the only time that you can actually get his FR if you are a fan of him. Next up is going to be the other BT units that is going to be dropping for September, which is going to be Yuri and El Naj. Now, Yuri with his BT and FR, let's look him up real quick. So Yuri with his FR ability, the conditions for it are going to be a 30% increase whenever the party has HP regen before the end of turn, a 5% increase whenever the party except for Yuri selects a holy ability, which one thing to note about that is that his FR ability is actually able to party holy enchant, so you don't have to worry about that while his FR ability is active, and then a 25% increase whenever Yuri selects a holy ability. So not too bad in terms of the FR conditions for his FR. His BT though, his BT with his BT effect, which lasts for 6 turns, provides the party with a party Brave damage up by 50%, 30% HP damage up, 20% Brave damage cap up, or 50%, excuse me, Brave damage cap up, and a 30% HP damage cap up. Also, the other thing about this is that all enemies hit rate down gets decreased by 100%, meaning that guess what? Everybody is going to be evading incoming attacks so long as Yuri's BT effect is active. So not too bad, not too shabby at all. It's actually like his BT effect can actually come in handy in certain situations. The perfect example would actually be the area, the 6 Warrior Quest area to fight for certain reasons, because of the enemies that you go up against. They will be inflicting or trying to inflict you with like freeze and like all this other. You're going up against Dullahan. That's pretty much who I'm talking about. His skill 1 does gain an additional use 3 HP dumps. His skill 2 gains an additional use 4 HP dumps. His EX ability now makes it so that his Brave potency gets increased. His overhead, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be his EX buff, it's one of the two, does get an increase, or adds a 20% party Brave and HP damage up, which is nice. His LD ability, the Trap, the Magic Blast Holy God plus 7 HP dumps. Very, very good when it comes to that. So overall, though, like, Yuri is not a bad character, like, whatsoever. For me, myself, though, like, if you want me to be 100 with y'all, I pulled for his BT, and I only used them once. And that's about it. And that was for the 6 Warrior fight. And that was because, like, I wanted to take advantage of his party evasion, and that's pretty much it. There are, of course, plenty of characters that is able to, or that has like party evasion. You have Rydia with her LD. You have Edge with his EX buff. So like you do have characters that is able to like evade, or that has like evasion within their kit. But for me though, Yuri, even though like Yuri, like he can definitely deal damage, especially with that trap that he inflicts on the enemy. I'm honestly going to hold off on pulling for Yuri this time on my global account, just because like I didn't really see much usage to him. Now, of course, like, this is just my opinion. Like, you guys can, like, you know, do your own research when it comes to, like, Yuri and whatnot. Like, I don't want to make it seem like he's, like, a bad character just because, like, I'm not going to be pulling for him or anything like that. But it's just, like for my type of playstyle and for, like, the characters that I already have that pretty much, like, covers what Yuri already does, or, like, something close to it, I think I'm probably going to hold off on pulling for his BT and his FR. If anything, like, if I change my mind, I may throw some tickets at the banner, like, for maybe the F4 or something like that, you know, just for, you know, shenanigans. But as of right now, I think I'm going to hold off on chasing for his BT and FR. Now, when it comes to El Naj, on the other hand, El Naj, I'm actually considering BT plusing. And, you know, some people might call me crazy, but, I mean, look, I've greened Jaguar in the past, so, I mean, like, that's the most crazy that you're gonna get out of somebody. So his skill 1, when it comes to his rework, is 3 HP dumps. He does get an improvement with his exoplates, which I do believe is his overhead. When it comes to his skill 2, gains 2 uses, 3 HP dumps on that one. And then for his LD ability, he starts off with his LD buff, and then his LD ability, the regular version, 4 HP dumps. His plus versions is going to be 5 HP dumps. When it comes to his BT plus, so his BT plus actually got extended to 10 turns, and now provides the party, depending on the amount of debuffs on the target, up to a maximum of 40% HP damage up and a 24% HP damage cap up. The debuffs inflicted by El Naj do not decrease, which is what his original BT effect has. And of course, he does provide party Brave regen, party Brave damage up, party Brave damage cap up, stolen max Brave overflow up. And again, it just depends on the amount of debuffs that you have inflicted onto the enemy. So, like, overall, though, from like some of the JP gameplay that I've actually seen with El Naj, like I could, like, El Naj can definitely do some work, which is why I am actually considering BT plusing him, just because like I never really gave him the chance on my JP account, so I feel like now might be the time to actually do so for on my global account. So I think I am actually highly considering BT plusing him over Yuri for my global account. Now the other characters that are going to be dropping alongside with that is going to be Yuri and Gladio, Rydia and Arciela. Not Yuri. Why did I say Yuri? Yuffie and Gladio, Rydia and Arciela. So, Yuffie, not too bad of a character. She does get a pretty nice rework. So she's not too bad in my opinion. Gladio on the other hand, shoot, you want yourself a counter tank that is able to cover incoming attacks. Gladio does get the juice when it comes to dealing counter damage and off-turn. Well, I guess off-turn damage really. When it comes to the enemy attacking Gladio, then yeah, technically it is counted as off-turn damage. So like Gladio becomes so much better, and now with him being able to have his C90, that's going to be ultimate weapons, and 4/7 enhancements is going to be even better. Like Gladio definitely gets the juice. Rydia does get 4/7 enhancement. She's actually not bad. She does get an FR later down the line, so like if anything, like if you decide to not pull on any of these banners, then she will be getting an FR, so you have another chance later to get it. But like Rydia is actually a character to not overlook, in my opinion, because like later down the line she does become much better, and her FR is solid. Arciela, very good character still. That debuff that she inflicts makes it so that the enemy is not able to pretty much like gain any type of brave and whatnot. So like Arciela is a pretty good character overall still, in my opinion. So but yeah, overall though, like it's a pretty interesting banners that's going to be dropping with the area 2 fight, but I will more than likely I will be BT plusing El Naj. Next up is going to be Vayne. Vayne with his FR and his rework, it's actually not bad in my opinion. I actually decided to pull for Vayne this time, and I even BT plus him too because I didn't have him BT plus at the time. So when it comes to his FR ability, his force, his FR conditions, so a 5% increase whenever the party except for Vayne uses a melee attack, and this also includes off-turn triggers. A 20% increase whenever the party inflicts break at the end of turn, and a 15% increase whenever Vayne uses a melee attack, which also includes off-turn triggers, which remember his BT effect is able to provide that off-turn damage. So that's one thing to note about that. Now when it comes to his rework and whatnot, his rework is not bad either. Skill 1, 3 HP dumps. Skill 2, 2 HP dumps, and then his LD ability is 4 HP dumps as well, and also resets the target's break status too. When it comes to his BT plus and all that good stuff, so his follow-up is now 2 HP dumps, which is great. And then, if I'm not mistaken, no, I think that's it. Yeah, so whenever he is breaking a target, or after a party member breaks the target, is when the follow-up attack actually does trigger. So overall, not too bad. For me myself, I pulled for Vayne's FR in JP, and I am more than likely going to pull for his FR once again, just because like with the rework that he is actually getting now, I want to be able to take advantage of all of that, and with his FR active, and with the follow-up that he can get whenever either him or anybody in the team breaks the enemy, I want to be able to take advantage of that off-turn damage. And like with melee units, and especially with pretty much like this month, most of the characters are going to be dealing melee type damage. Like it's going to be they're going to pair up pretty well with Vayne overall. So I will be throwing some tickets at Vayne's FR, maybe like 200 tickets, just depending on how everything how my pulls have been so far. for the month of September. Leon does get a pretty good rework as well with his rework, C90 and all that good stuff. Cyan gets reran as well. Still a very solid unit overall. So that is that. And then finally, we do have Cor. Now, Cor is going to be a character that is for sure going to be hyped up. His F4, actually, let me pull that up real quick. So his F4 is not too shabby in my opinion, and it's actually really easy to meet, and actually pairs up very well with like, let's say, like counter tanks, with off turners and all that good stuff. So when it comes to his F4, the F4 effect is whenever the party brave / HP damage resist up, brave damage up, and then self brave capped damage. And then when it comes to the HP damage bonus, a 5% increase whenever the party triggers an additional attack outside of their turn, a pre-triggered attack, which, I mean, Cor is easily able to meet that. And then a 40% increase whenever the party deals more than 9,999 brave damage per turn. 99, what the hell? When it comes to his when it comes to his rework and whatnot, his rework is very solid as well. So his skill 1, 2 HP dumps, his skill 2, 2 HP dumps, and then his LD ability is 4 HP dumps, and then with the additional attack from Cor, it is 2 HP dumps now. And then that Reaper's Gale, one thing to know is that his overhead, the max stacks right now on global for Cor is at 10. That's actually going to be reduced to 7, which is great. So his Reaper's Gale's attack is going to deal 3 HP dumps, and then the overhead also gets buffed up as well. So party HP regen, brave damage up, HP damage up, and again, these stacks get lowered to 7. So overall, the Cor, there are many characters that actually work very well with Cor. So Cor is actually a character that, again, is going to be more than likely is going to get hyped up, and it's a character that I feel like should not be overlooked when it comes to his F4 and whatnot. He is still very solid, and now with his rework and his C90, it's going to be really, really good, and you're definitely going to appreciate it, because when he came to JP, oh my god, us JP players were like, it just seems like we were simping for the guy, just because like we really enjoy what he actually got. Noctis gets force level enhancements, and that's about it. Gao actually got a pretty good rework in my opinion, and here is why. So the rework basically makes it so that now he will actually trigger both counter attacks depending on like which counter attack from either his skill 1 or skill 2 you have active, and his LD counter attack will also trigger as well. It's actually a pretty good rework for what he got. So that is double counters that you can actually take advantage of with Gao. When it comes to like actual like rework 3 HP dumps, and he gains 2 additional uses on his skill 1. His skill 2 gains 5 additional uses and 3 HP dumps. And then when it comes to his LD ability, he now starts off with Instinct Awakenings, Beast Teachings for 6 turns for both of them. He recovers Brave in between attacks by a hefty amount, 50%, which is great. He does inflict the Earth Resist down, and like I said, like he is able to now trigger both counters now, which is great. So very good rework overall for Gao. Like I really do appreciate the fact that they gave him such a solid rework. So but yeah, I already have Gao's kit, so I'm going to be taking advantage of that. And if you are a fan of like off turn of damage, then like Gao's actually pretty solid, because he is actually able to off turn heal as well if you have his skill 2, if I'm not mistaken, active. So but no, overall, very, very good. It's a very solid banner in my opinion. So, but other than that though, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Again, let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be for the characters for the month of September. And yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.